Hey everyone! Thanks for joining me this evening. Tonight we're going to talk about GovCon Core Apps. This is an application that we built to help companies with their government contracting and help give them. So if you're looking to do some research on who should be your target agency, when they're buying, how they're buying, are they buying what you're selling, and the companies that you could potentially team with. So this is kind of what we're going to take you through tonight of a little bit about the product that we built and how it can help benefit you in navigating the government contracting realm. So to start off with, this is our landing page. Here in the middle is our NAICS code. So this is different things that we can that can be offered. So we talked in another group earlier as far as what can you sell to government agencies, and you can sell pretty much everything. So in this, it's about the federal government agency, and as you can see, some of these NAICS codes, we can enter some other ones in here as well. So if anybody's on and would like to share a NAICS code, we can have one, and we're just going to kind of walk you all the way through our whole platform here. And I'd also like, if you watching this as a replay, please put replay in the chat. Love to see who gets on and kind of checks this out for us, and let me know where you're from too. So as you can see here, these are, we have office administration, offices of physicians, computer training. These are the NAICS codes that I've currently entered into the system. Over here on the left is the fiscal year. So as you can see, it's the current fiscal year 2024, and the number of agencies is 10. So where we're still in that first quarter of the fiscal year, you can see there's not a whole lot here. So we're going to go back a year, and we're going to really look at what the government was buying for these NAICS codes specifically. As you can see, GSA was a huge one. They bought $224 million, and we'll break down which NAICS codes those were here shortly. So let's just say, you know what, we want to see what else besides GSA. So we're going to remove GSA, and we're going to look at our next top ones. Okay, awesome. Regina has a code. We're going to enter that in. 611. Let's enter that in here. Thank you, Regina, for sharing a code we can plug in. All right, as you see, it changed again. So it looks like for that code, which is instruction, so it's teaching, those type of things. Department of Defense is a huge one. They spent $29 million, not just with this one, but also with all the other NAICS codes that we have entered into the system. Department of Veteran Affairs was another huge one. And let's just kind of take it down a little farther. Let's go a little deeper. Who else was buying? Because we know those ones are kind of some big agencies. Maybe we want to start out a little smaller. Here's some other options for those NAICS codes. Now, let's go over here to the right. So as you can see, I have Department of Defense. They're awarded $29 million. So let's select and see what NAICS codes and how much that breakdown is. So for Regina's, they spent $14 million on training just last year. The next one, see that Office Administration was $14 million. So as you can see, this is kind of a great NAICS breakdown for fiscal year 2023. And you know what? We're going to go in a little deeper. Let's go check out what the sub-agencies. So we're going to do a deep dive. Now, if you have any questions at any point, please just drop them in the chat. Love to be able to answer them for you as we go. Okay, so this is the agency deep dive. This is the sub-agencies. As you can see, we have another pie chart here in the middle, and you can hover over them. It's going to tell you how that agency spent. Again, you can do the same thing. We're going to clear out some of these big ones in here. Let's really look at these smaller ones. A lot of great information. Down here, it does a hierarchy, so it breaks it all the way down on those sub-agencies, so you can learn a little bit more about which ones are doing. So as you can see, you got the Department of Army, got some Army National Guard in there, some Navy. And another cool feature over here is we're going to go and we're going to select the agency, the sub-agency. This is going to show you all the POCs that have been listed in sam.gov for that sub-agency. So it gives you all the contact information. And also, so you can add people as well in our system. So you can add point of contacts, whether that be a KO you've talked to, contracting specialist, or a program manager. And this is actually specific to your account only. It doesn't go out to everybody. It's your personal information. So it's a really good thing to have in here so you know, hey, I need to go and contact this person. Okay. Regina said, can we look at the agency and see their top codes versus providing a code? Not currently, not yet. Right now, it's just whatever NAICS codes that you're looking at doing. Great question. So that's kind of the agency deep dive. Go back to the home page, and looks like Denise has 4. Let's plug that one in. 614. All right, so GSA is still another big one. But as you can see, you've got all these other ones that you can filter down through. All right, so down here at the bottom, this is when they're buying. So you can see it's broken down by quarter. And it's also, you can hover over each one. It's going to tell you how much they spent in that quarter or that time period. And as you can see, GSA does a lot of spending in that third quarter. So this is where you want to start targeting the GSA and their sub-agencies in that first 2 quarters. Again, you can remove if you want to narrow down your search. Over here on the right is the businesses. So this is your potential teaming partners. So these are businesses that are actually doing business with the government and with the same NAICS codes that I have in here, up here. So these could be your potential teaming partners. This shows how much they've been awarded. So let's just go dive on and we'll look at this first one. Okay, in here it's going to have their information. I do have it blown up so it is a little kind of mushed together, but it has all their business information. You can add their website. You can also add their certifications. We do have something coming soon where we are actually going to have the certifications already pre-populated in the system. But for right now, if you know that this company does is an EDWOSB, you can select that and it'll be a filtering process in the business profile. Capabilities, if you have specific capabilities that you do, you can add them in as well. Or if you know that company, that's what they do. That way you can kind of keep track when you're sourcing contracts of, hey, there's a contract out there for data management, and I know this company has past performance. I'm going to go talk to this company and let them know how I can potentially team up, subcontract, any of that to help them and help the agency that they're working with as well. Down here below, you can also see where the agency and the contract awards. This award notice, if you select it, it's going to take you right to the sam.gov. Let's see if this works. So I'm new to using this eCam, so I'm never for certain how it's going to work, but as you can see, it did work just fine. You do not have to be logged in or signed into SAM to actually see these. Sometimes if you haven't been in for that day, you will get the normal pop-up window. You just close out of it. So as you can see, it takes you right to the award notice. So this is kind of a great thing to do a little research on your own and figure out who your target companies are going to be. You can also see the NAICS code that they utilized for that big win. It's $56 million was this NAICS code right here. All right, so we're going to go to the businesses profile where you can access it there or up here on the right. Yes, Sabrina, we are going to be able to pull sources sought notices in this tool, and I'll get to that shortly. That's another part of this tool that's amazing. And so on here on the businesses section, this gives you, as you can see, 114,000 businesses that are doing work with the government. You can source them by last active or in the last 12 months. What that means is the last contract that has been awarded and they received revenue in the last 12 months. So you can filter those if you just want to look at those. Doesn't mean that the ones that are marked no haven't done any business with them. It just might mean that they haven't in the last 12 months. You can also narrow this down too by, if you're looking for 8A company, because the solicitation's coming out for 8A, you can start looking at those. Hub zone, you can enter those in as well. And then capabilities. So these are the capabilities that you've entered into this system. So you can select any of those and that's what's going to pull up. So this is going to help you narrow down and make your research a whole lot faster and more streamlined when you can just come in here, click on it, going, all right, these are my 3 target agencies. Okay, you can also sort by, let's clear all this out. Okay, by country or by state. So let's look at all the ones that are in Alaska. So you can come down here, filter through if you're looking for a contract that's in Alaska. And it'll tell you the city, so it really narrows it down. So if you have a contract in the city of Wasilla and you want to partner up or subcontract, you can reach out to one of these. So this is kind of a little bit of an overview of the business side of the house. We're going to come up here and go to agencies. So here in agencies, you can do different saves. As you can see, I've got a NAICS report saved. But we're going to go to the primary report. And we're going to go down through and we're going to look for, let's do the Department of Defense. Okay, so it gives you all of the Department of Defense agencies. But we're going to go even a little deeper. Let's figure out, let's do Department of Finance. As you can see, this even goes down even deeper. And you can start adding information into here. So anything with a blue hyperlink, it'll either take you to a new page, has a pop-up, or will take you to sam.gov. So this is the agency. These are the point of contacts for that agency's post from SAM. Now you do have that capability to add resources. So what that means, their website, so where their forecast report is, if they have a LinkedIn social media page, anything like that, you can add that in here for yourself to be able to custom search what you're looking for government agencies. So up here on the right, so say you're looking at the forecast report or you've starting to see some contracts out there and you know what capabilities they're looking for, this is where you can enter that information. So we can enter in admin. And the estimated date, so say it's a sources sought notice and the estimated date of when it was started, or end date was today. And then the estimated amount, so you can put in there, maybe it was a $50,000 contract. And then what NAICS code. So you can either, scroll through, you can search the NAICS codes by keyword or by the actual NAICS code number itself. Let me add one more one in there. There we go. Okay, you do have the ability to add PSC codes in here too. So PSC is if they're looking for anything, or it narrows down that field as well. I think 602. I'm not as familiar with the NAICS or the PSC codes. There's one, medical records. Perfect. And then you hit create. Now you have all this information here that's going to filter when we come back out to agencies. Hit refresh. Maybe that might be something I'm gonna have to work with on my team, but that's okay. So what'll happen is this will populate right over here. So let's go do a filter, and we're gonna go by capability, or let's do NAICS. And this is how you do a search. Okay, so little glitch in the system. we'll get that fixed. However, what's going to happen is you're going to have the capability sought, the estimated total dollar amount, so that 50,000 we put in there, the NAICS that we think is going to go out for it, and the PSC codes. So what this does is it helps you when you're doing any research as far as on the agencies and what you already know. So this is really your intel. So you know what's coming out, and it could be something that's coming out in a year because you showed up to an industry day and something that they were talking about that's on the pipeline. All those things that you can plug in here so you can keep it filtering through and gives you more intel on those government agencies that's proprietary to you. So this information that you plug in is for your account only. All right, so now the opportunities. So this is all contracts and sources sought notices from sam.gov. What it does is it automatically filters over your NAICS codes that you have entered in the front or on that landing page. So as you can see, this is what's already out there right now. Now on the left, you can actually do a quick search. So this page is really a quick search. So let's say we want to look at the sources sought notices. It filtered out by the 7 that's out there, and these are the NAICS codes that are out there. Now we can say we want to look at this one. You just hit this and it's going to take you right on over to SAM to that notice so that you can actually do a deeper dive, look into it, see what it's all about. You can also filter here by, let's say we want to know what the deadline is. And what's, you can filter by the soonest or one that's out there a ways. Now you can also come down here and say you want to look at a specific agency. You just select that, you're going to come and it's going to give you the specific agency and what's out there. As you can see, Health and Human Services has 8 notices out there because you can see there's a pre-solicitation, a solicitation, a combined synopsis and solicitation. And you can also narrow it down further. So we're going to do a small business set aside. That's what SB is. And then down below is your NAICS. Now say, you know what, I want to look at everything, or you know, I filtered it down too much and I want to look at something else. You can always hit clear all. Come back in and say you want to look at a specific NAICS code. So let's look at, we'll do Denise's NAICS code. So we're just going to put this one in here. Select that NAICS code. And as you can see, there is a total of 7 opportunities out there for her NAICS code. And it shows the agency, when they're due. So great tool. So now what you can do is, you know, this is kind of a quick search that you can pop into SAM, those type of things. Now, if you want to be able to save your reports, we're going to go to interactive reports. So what this does is you can create a report that is going to pull, every time you click on it, it's going to pull up and it's going to show you those opportunities out there. And you can also subscribe to it, which means they're going to get sent to you. And a nice little spreadsheet that you can click on, and you don't have to be logged into SAM. It's a great little tool to help facilitate that a whole lot faster. So as you can see on here, you've got that SAM source link, but we also have documents in here too. So you can select that, and then you can download those documents so you can actually look at them and not even have to go into SAM to do that. Again, you can filter by when it was posted by, deadline, but let's do a little bit deeper filter. So you're going to come up here to Actions. You're going to go to Filter and say we want to look at those NAICS codes. Okay, let's see. We're going to look at Regina's this time. 611699. Apply. So now it's filtered out all the NAICS code, and these are all the opportunities out there. And we want to filter by, let's say, the deadline. So we can filter that by next 12 hours. We're going to do in the next month, because I want to know what's coming out in the next month. So now, as you can see, this is what it's filtered down to. So these ones are coming out in the next month. Now, to save this, you're going to come back in here to Actions. You're going to go to Report, save the report. You're going to name it, and don't remember the NAICS code. Oh, it's right there. 611699. You can add a description if you choose. It's not needed for the system. And now you've saved your report. Now, if you want to subscribe to this report, you're going to come back in. You're going to go to subscription. You're going to select what format you'd like to receive it in, the email address you want it to go to, a subject line. It pulls the title of what you put in the system, but you can change that. And then the frequency, whether you want it daily, weekly, or monthly. And then this is a great tool right here, skip if no data found. So if there has not been anything updated in SAM, you're not going to keep getting emails every day with the same stuff. It's only if it's going to update, so which is great because then you're not feeling like you're getting spammed a lot. And then you can do your start date. So you can start it today and you can add a specific time as well. And then you can also have an end date if you only want to look at this for the next month, maybe just kind of get a feel for what's out there. You can set that, or you can go out years and hit it. So, and then you just hit apply. And then you'll start getting those notices in your email. Now, another thing is here in the middle, you're going to see this is where your primary report, and these are all the saved reports that you have. So you can access them at any time. So if you want to look at, industry days, here you go. You've got it all filtered. You can come in here and you can look at that. If you want to create another report, so you can come back to primary report, you will have to clear out what you just filtered and then do another search. You can also readjust your columns as well. So you can remove columns, add columns. So everything on the right is what's being displayed in the report and everything on the left is not. So let's just say, you know what, I don't want to see the documents when I get my reports. So I want to remove that. And I want to see the set aside first. And then I want to see the agency. So I'm just going to adjust it that way so I know exactly how my report's going to look. And then again, I'm going to come back in here to filter, and I'm going to filter out, let's just say the set aside. We're going to look at EDWOSB. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to have to select that one and hit apply. And there you go. It pulled all the EDWOSB that's out there. And these are the 2 NAICS codes for that. So this is our GovCon core apps, and I want to thank you all for joining us and allow me to demo this for you. Again, we're going to be doing this every Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. so you can jump on, learn a little bit more about your research tools, because I don't know about many of you, but I know when I first started doing research for government agencies, who my targets were, any of that, it took a lot to figure out, my NAICS code, my government agency, all of that. And we want to be able to help streamline that so faster and more accurately of what's out there and what the government's buying. There's going to be a lot more updates coming soon to this. We're pretty excited and we'll be pushing those out. Now you can access this 2 ways. Currently it's available through SB Money Flow. It's a lot of great products there because you're not only getting our service, but you're also getting what it's called, essentially, Dr. Travis calls it a business in a box. And you're getting your CRM, your calendars, you can be able to build websites. It's an amazing tool that you can use, and you can also get this in there as well. And you'll also be able to get ours. We are hoping to launch this weekend with our tool, and you can watch for coresolutionsgroup.com. You can sign up for our newsletter and also watch for our new update and when we're going to be pushing out, where you can just get our platform as a standalone. So thanks again for joining me. I appreciate you all that joined me today, and I look forward to seeing you next week. So have a good night.